My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. American flags.
On the screen. Oh, here we go.
And we're
Hello.
live.
Well, hey, hello everyone.
Welcome back, Terry.
Yeah, I've been away for a while. Haven't been hiding. Been busy, and a lot of stuff happened in the last few weeks. Actually, pretty exciting. And we're changing a little bit the format of the show tonight. We were supposed to talk about updates from America Fest, some of the cool people that I met out there, some of the people we'll be bringing on the show, and we'll talk about that at the back end of this. But with new developments that happened recently, everyone's familiar with what's going on with illegal immigration. The border is no longer at. What's up?
Bring the mic closer.
Now, my producers, I'm worried my nose is going to hit. I got a big Italian nose. I got to be careful. So here we go.
Now you're giving your microphone code.
All right, so. The border isn't just at the border in Texas, right? It's everywhere. And I think everyone's been very familiar with that. You know, what's kind of funny is you got all these blue states, and then you got the sanctuary cities, San Francisco, New York, Chicago. You got all these liberal scumbag mayors that are crying, you know, oh, give me the poor, you're tired, you're lonely, we'll take care of everybody. That's all great for votes, right? But when the rubber hits the road and all these people start coming to them, they change their tune pretty quickly.
Limousine liberals.
Yeah. So here in Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson thought he was slick, and he said that the buses can no longer drop off in the city of Chicago. And I really think he doesn't care, and you'll learn a little bit about why I'm saying that later today. And so what the buses had to do is to avoid getting ticket fined or they'll impound their buses, is that they've been dropping them off in the suburbs throughout the whole suburban area of Chicago that are on the Metro trains. There's a couple different rails that go into the city of Chicago. So what they've been doing is they've been dropping busloads of illegal immigrants in nice high-end, nice suburbs, right? They dump them off right there.
Rich white suburbs.
Yeah, rich white liberal suburbs, which is kind of funny,
you remember
right?
that story when they sent them to Martha's Vineyard?
Yes.
When Ron DeSantis?
Yeah.
It looks a lot like that, and I think it's a good thing because people start to wake up.
Yeah. So what they're doing now is they're dropping them off, and my buddy Ben Berkwam, Ben, thank you very much. He pushed out a little story that we're going to show you later today. So my kids go to Downers Grove South High School, and most of you know me for fighting against the pornography, right? Hate the porn, and
Still a problem.
Yeah, it's going to go on forever, right?
We'll get to that, but so much has been going on lately.
We're in a big war in so many different fronts, right? We got the porn. They're trying to indoctrinate our kids, separate the children from their families. They're working on it, and they're really doing good. They did it in college. They're pretty successful in the high schools. We're fighting back really tough on that, and then they creeped into the grammar schools. So now they're flooding us with illegal immigrants everywhere.
We got the rhinos that we got to get past before we can.
Yeah, we're fighting in Illinois. It's really messed up. We got to fight the scumbag Democrat Marxist, but we got the Republicans that are pussies. They're taking the scraps. They're taking the scraps from the Democrats, and they betray us. They turn their backs on us. So that's a whole different.
Uniparty.
That's a whole different issue. So now in Chicago, they're dropping off illegals. Again, I feel sorry for these people, but you know what? They're illegal aliens. They're here illegally. They didn't come here legally. I had my grandparents come from Italy. I had, one set of my mom's side. Obviously, I'd have a different last name. Nusomi, No, kidding. Newsom. You know, that's my dad's last name. So they came from Italy, right? They came over here. They worked hard. Every generation did better. They didn't get handouts. They didn't get food stamps. They didn't get phones. They didn't get free bus passes, free medical. They worked their asses off, right? My grandma was a maid, and my grandpa actually had his own bakery, but he wouldn't pay street tax to Capone. I don't know if I told you guys this. He wouldn't pay street tax to Capone. They burned my grandpa's bakery down, so he had to work in, God, I forgot the name of the bakery factory. So anyway, they worked really hard. Then I have my other grandma on my dad's side. She spoke Italian, spoke Italian. The other one spoke Polish. They came here legally. So what the leftist Marxist scumbags like to label us, all of us who are okay with legal immigration, we're against illegal immigration, we're racist, right? We're homophobe. We hate everyone. If we don't open our gates to let everybody into the country, we're rotten, evil scumbags, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I think everyone knows that. So we learned that there was a busload of illegal immigrants dropped off in Downers Grove, downtown at the station. You're going to see a little clip of that. In addition to Downers Grove, where we live at, here's other locations: Naperville, Elmhurst, Elborn, Aurora, Westmont, Hinsdale, Fox River Grove, Downers Grove. Naperville had multiple bus loads. These are not all of them, right? So what they're doing is they're coming here, they're taking the trains, free bus train tickets, and the sympathy, and you'll see in our video, I feel bad for these families, the families especially, not as much for the 20-year-old guys, and they don't have any plans or anything. Directions, instructions. They dump them off at Downers Grove train, and the one family you're going to see in here thought they were going to get a train to take them up to Milwaukee when this Metro train runs east and west. So I sympathize with these people. So we're going to talk about that first.
Before play the bus one first.
Yeah, well, do you have that other one I sent you?
Which one?
The one you said you found. The coyotes.
We do have a little issue.
Oh, Terry, I heard.
Yeah.
I heard you you live right by a.
Yeah.
You live right by a graveyard. I heard.
Yeah. So
I heard there might be some coyote problem out there. They're not just at the border.
In addition to the legal immigrants, we got coyotes. We got coyotes running in my backyard.
Unbelievable.
This is a little side. It's kind of funny, but last night I got a little 12-pound Havanese little white dog, and we're in a western suburb of Chicago. Not far, 20 miles from Chicago. I just want to show this little 30-second clip. You guys are going to freak out. Look at how many coyotes are in my backyard trying to get by my little puppy. Go ahead.
Oh, crap. The sound's not coming through. Oh, there it is. We can't hear it, though. I can't connect to Rumble. They're down.
Yeah, they have been down.
It's just rejecting the connections.
Yeah, I think they're getting attacked again.
Are other people seeing this?
On everything but Rumble.
Rumble's
Okay.
up. Rumble's up.
Yeah, Rumble's up.
It wasn't a minute ago.
Try
Is
it
it up
again.
on you?
Well, get us off the.
There we go. There your video ended.
Okay, so it was a little joke tying the coyotes into the legal immigrants, right?
They're
So-
not just at the border.
Yeah, so before we show the video clip that Ben put out on Twitter, pass it off to Paul, and then we'll jump into that clip.
So, yeah, welcome back, Terry. It was a busy 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was trying to hold down the fort. I mean, I know you were worried that people were thinking you might be running and hiding from some local issues we've had. And by the way, just a little note on that, our local Republican organization leadership is so incompetent they got kicked out of the banquet hall they used to hold their meetings out of because they're once again weaponizing law enforcement against private citizens.
Yeah, so for those of you not from Chicago, Paul and I are committeemen in Downers Grove, and we're fighting these weasel, pussy-ass Republican establishment people that have no balls. They have zero balls.
And
so they're coming after me. They've been attacking me, going after me. Long story. We don't want to bore you with that. We'll get back to the subject, but that's what he's referencing. So go ahead, Paul.
So anyway, I took took the time to go over some stuff last week, and obviously we're going to talk about the immigrant crisis here in Illinois. Last week we touched on it, right? We showed how there's a warehouse of 2,700 immigrants just being shoved into this place. Do we know if there's proper sanitation? Do we know if they're getting fed? Nobody knows who these people are, where they're coming from. We were at the train station the other day, and we saw little kids.
Yeah.
Little kids. Like, I mean, I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I saw kids that small
It's very
in this
sad.
train station. It's real sad. And, you know, watch Brandon Johnson, the Chicago mayor, blame it on Texas, on Governor Abbott. Yet he's the one who I think recently voted to stay a sanctuary city.
Yep.
Right? And yet people like him and Adams, the mayor in New York, the mayor in Denver, they're coming out on the media and they're whining about their situation and they're calling for the feds to step in. So, you know, but that's typical Democrats, right, Terry?
Yeah.
It's like, let's government, solve our problems. Well, you know, you could tell the government enough is enough. I mean, everything that's happening right now in terms of immigration is illegal.
Yeah.
Not just the people coming across the border. And by the way, folks, I understand the compassion for these people. As I walked into that train station yesterday and I saw those little kids and these families who think that they're coming here for an opportunity. But, you know, as we showed last week, there's a warehouse full of them. They don't know the language. They don't know anybody here. I mean, I saw a video not too long ago, maybe last week, and they're questioning the migrants. What do you come here? Work? And one guy's like, no, not coming here for work. Right, because they're all getting handouts, and how are they getting those handouts? From us, the taxpayer. So you got inflation because of us printing money. And why are they printing money? Because we got to pay for these people. That's devaluing our dollar. We're losing our country. And I think the biggest issue here, Terry, is people, especially where we live in white suburbia, they don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
People are not taking it seriously. We are losing our country. I mean, I also went over 34 pages of new laws in Illinois. That, you know, this is communism. This is communism in action.
Yep.
And now we have illegal immigrants here, and what are we going to do with them? What are we going to do with them? They're going to have to raise taxes both federally and at the state level. We know that Illinois is one of the worst state taxes in the country, if not the worst. I think there's something I saw 2%. So
Yeah, that's, you know, a quick shout out to my buddy Robbie Corso owns Angie's Pizza on Pulaski, in the southwest side where I grew up. And Robbie was looking to hire a cook. And an illegal immigrant was there so he told Robbie he wanted him to pay him cash because he's getting money from the government.
right.
Robbie told him to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, well, and we talked about that. It's like, you know, the one thing we talked about last week, Terry, was Illinois is raising the minimum wage law. And I talked about, you know, the basic economics of that is, you know, the Democrats are always talking about, you know, tax the corporations and the corporations are evil. Well, the policies that they enact help the corporations snuff out the competition of small business, because all minimum wage does is allow corporations to hike up that price. Well, what else happens? Businesses, to try to survive, will hire illegal immigrants and pay them cash under the table, which prices out the American citizen of a job.
Jason, you got that video ready?
So there's all kinds of problems that we're facing with this, and we're going to see it in 2024.
Which video? I'm sorry, I'm trying to
The
tell
bus.
Rumble
The bus.
The bus video.
that we're not on Rumble tonight.
Oh man,
The bus
sounds
video.
like Rumble's down, folks. So
Keep talking.
So you know, I think the biggest problem, Terry, is that people don't understand that this stuff is going to hit them, and now we got immigrants coming to white suburbia, and they're going to have to see, like, this is coming to your backyard, and it is a big problem because in my lifetime, I've never seen busloads of immigrants coming into suburbia.
Yeah.
This is a new thing. And we know that this can be prevented because during the Donald Trump era, we didn't see this.
Yeah.
I mean, before Donald Trump, we didn't see this, you know, Obama or George Bush.
So in Illinois, for those of you who are not familiar with our governor,
The bus.
the bus. Our governor, B.J. Prickster, so far he spent $500 million. He's trying to bribe these different suburbs to take the illegal immigrants, and they're not accepting. What's up, Jason? Did you got that video or no?
No, I lost my glasses. I can't see.
Okay.
Major issue too.
So we'll hold off on the video. Oh, so I guess we can't do the other video either.
So so anyway, we talked about the immigrant problem last week, and what do we see this week? We were getting ready to talk about your time at America Fest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, we're getting ready to talk about Terry's time in America Fest, and all of a sudden, there's people sending videos and sending text messages about all these illegal immigrants showing up at train stations around Chicago. And the reason is because I have an article here.
You got it?
Talking about.
All right. Wait. Do you got it?
I got the train.
The train. All right. Show the train video.
Yeah, show the train video.
Go ahead, Paul. What is this here?
So
Or the bus, I'm sorry.
The reason they're coming to the suburbs is because Brandon Johnson, out of the mayor of Chicago, said that he was going to ticket buses and even impound them. You touched on that earlier, for bringing immigrants to Chicago. Well, it's all smoke and mirrors, right? Because they're bringing them anyway. They're just dropping them off in the suburbs, and they're taking a train to Chicago. And we ran into people that were going to Milwaukee. We ran into people that were going to Indiana. They're from all different countries: Peru, Venezuela, El Salvador. I think I saw some Europeans, some Chinese. So and they're stopping everywhere along the BNSF line here in Chicago, and Chicago's taking them. So not only is Brandon Johnson making it more difficult for the immigrants, he's playing politics with them, and then he's blaming it on Governor Abbott, just like the other mayors in the blue cities are blaming it on Texas. When in reality, this is a federal immigration
Did you find it, Jason?
problem.
Yeah,
So-
we're just having some.
So
Show it now.
so here we go.
We
We're-
get back on track.
Yeah, we got a video of the bus.
This is going to show the bus on the drop off at Downers Grove. Well, one of my friends picked that up, and we were on our way there.
So there they are.
It's Downers Grove, Illinois, about
Coming off the
20
bus.
miles east of Chicago.
So even though Brandon Johnson's taking them in still, he's going to make it even harder on them. People have kids, right? They have small children. We saw maybe a 2-year-old and a baby yesterday.
Yeah.
So now because he wants to play politics, he wants to play politics with people's lives.
You got the next one
Right.
ready for Ben after this?
They're,
Jason?
They're just dumping them like garbage in the suburbs. Dumping them like garbage into the suburbs. Now they got to get on with all their luggage to a separate train and go to the city anyway.
So let me. So you guys saw the bus where they're dropping off. We're going to show in a second here. Ben's video that I took that he put up on Twitter, which thank you, Ben, got us a lot of views, and
Like 200,000, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's Tom.
No,
Holman.
that's time. We're showing the
We wanna
video.
show
You're
the
going to have
video
the
from
video
Twitter.
of the bus. I mean, of the interview from Twitter.
That one.
So anyway, while we're getting that ready to show, we're not going to throw it up there right now. So we went to the train station, and I'm not happy about these people flooding our country because we're going to have to pay for them. They're not going to get jobs. They can't even speak any English. And I really had a heartfelt conversation, feeling sorry. I think every one of us did. And
It was sad.
these people, the train goes east and west right to Chicago. We talked to somebody that was going to Indianapolis. Somebody else, another family with the babies going to Milwaukee, and this woman didn't even get on the train to go to Chicago because she thought she was going to get on a train that was going to take her to Milwaukee. You'll see a little bit of that in some of the conversation here. So we're going to play this video, and then after that, we'll jump in and start talking some more about this subject. You got that ready?
They can't hear us, right? If we're talking.
They can.
Bus.
The bus driver gave it to you? Yeah, you have to check. So that guy's he's from Haiti. He's been on the road for a month. And he said they gave him these tickets on the bus. And then he's going to take the train downtown and is supposed to get to Indianapolis. It looks like somebody just dumped him off here, Downers Grove, Illinois, western suburb, Chicago. Ah, there you go. There's more. Where you from? What country?
Chicago.
What country? Venezuela?
Chicago.
Venezuela, Peru.
Venezuela, Peru. Hello. Where are you guys from? What country? Anybody speak English? Venezuela? Oh, everybody from Venezuela? How come you didn't take the train to Chicago? The next train?
Para Wisconsin.
You're going to Wisconsin? Wow. Milwaukee, Wisconsin? The train, you got tickets? Michigan, Milwaukee. Wow. So it looks like they gave her a ticket. They dumped a bunch of them off here in a bus. You saw the police officers wouldn't say nothing to us. And some people are going to Chicago, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, but they don't have instructions. And this train won't take them to Milwaukee, as you know. So I'll tell them in another translation.
Solo nos dijeron que cojamos el tren.
Jake, Paul, could you scan that ticket?
That's GPS coordinates.
You.
Terry.
Okay.
GPS coordinates.
Okay. Oh. To get to Milwaukee, you have to take this train stop to Chicago like the other people just did. Then you'll take a train from Chicago up to Milwaukee. It looks like they're going to go downtown Chicago, and they're going to have to find another way to get to Milwaukee. These were just GPS coordinates and not a ticket. So whoever dropped them off here at this station left them without any real instructions to get to any other locations, Milwaukee, Indianapolis. So we have people that were just dropped off in Downers Grove from Haiti, Venezuela, Mexico, Peru, with multiple destinations without any real train tickets. You know, Chicago said they want them. Bring them, send them to us. We're Sanctuary City. Vote for us. We're loving liberals. Now all of a sudden, it looks like they're losing the love. Yeah, I just talked to the conductor, explained the situation with people without tickets. He said they know about it. They're letting everybody on without tickets. So it's obviously coordinated with the city of Chicago to sneak these people into Chicago while Mayor Johnson pretends he doesn't know about it. Otherwise, they wouldn't make an agreement that all these people from throughout the world can jump on the train and not have to pay for it and get a ticket into the city of Chicago. Yeah, but we need to pay. Are we on? Can you hear us? Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. If you notice, the family that we spoke to at the end, the mother with the kids and that translator was had a little issues with it, but we got it going at the end. So she didn't get on the train with the other folks, which she should have. And it was a good thing we were there to talk to her and explain to her, because
She get on a different. She had to go to a different train station.
well, she didn't. She was expecting to go right to Milwaukee, and that train doesn't go right to Milwaukee. And then we explained to her and talked to her afterwards through the phone that she has to go into Chicago and then take another train to get to Milwaukee. But they all had those little QR code tickets or whatever they were. They were not Amtrak tickets, or I'm sorry, Metro. And I spoke to the one conductor, concerned for the family and not having the right tickets. And he said, "Don't worry about it. We know what's going on, and they don't have to pay for the tickets." So Metra is a city thing. It's not run by the feds.
Right.
Metro's a city, right? So
It's probably a problem too.
Yeah, obviously, whoever approved that knows about it, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming Johnson does.
Well, all this
I don't
costs
know.
money. All this costs money. How are they coordinating all this?
So
You know?
they're approved to
Thousands of
jump on the
people.
train without paying, all of them running on the train. And I don't know where they're going to house these people. This is what the left wants.
Apparently
and
banning factories.
another thing for those of you who like live in the suburbs like us, and people aren't getting involved yet because it's not affecting them. They don't think it's affecting them. We have to worry about the driver's license that Pritzker is going to give to them, regular standard driver's license, and some of the other liberal states, right? And worry about them using them to vote, and that's going to have an impact. Hopefully, we're going to. I don't know. Well, hopefully, there's going to be checks and balances to fix that.
That's a point,
But
right?
yeah, the other thing that no one's thinking about is that the last census, Illinois lost like 4 congressional seats, roughly. I think New York lost 5. I don't know how many California lost. We picked some up in Texas and Florida, right? So what do you think is going to happen the next census? When we got they said there's 7 million they know about. That means there's probably 10 million by the next census. What's that going to be? 20 million. So think about it. They're all going to these blue states, into these blue liberal cities. What's going to happen the next census? Because they count illegals. We will never, ever, ever win Congress over again because they're going to have all these extra head counts to beef up and bolster their congressional seats in all these blue states, and we're done.
Well, it's just a way to muddy the waters, right? And we talked last week about the standardizing the driver's license and I wonder what that's going to do, right? Because now they're going to have standard IDs. Are they going to be able to mix them in with real voters, with real citizens? So, I think this is all meant to cause chaos in the system. There's been 8 million that they've counted in the Biden administration that have come across the border. I think I saw in November of this year they had like over 300,000 across the border. That's just the ones they're counting. Mm-hmm. So what if we know it's preventable? If we know it's preventable, then why is it being done? And we have to sit here and listen to people like Mayorkas and Karine, whatever her name is, that idiot press secretary for Biden, just make excuses and lie. When we know, this is the problem I think everybody has with the Biden administration. It's just all obvious lies, because we know that this didn't happen 4 years ago. Yeah. We know it didn't happen 4 years ago. So now you got these cities flooded with illegal immigrants with nowhere to go. Where are they going to find work? Where are they going to find food? Where are they going to find shelter with proper sanitation? I was just in Austin last week visiting a friend. I was there 5 years ago, and yeah, there was a homeless problem that was under the bridge. It was incredible. They were everywhere. Just flooded the city. At the same time, you saw this. There's this dichotomy between homeless and like a clearly, elite class that's growing in Austin. You had buildings growing up everywhere. So clearly, places like San Francisco, Austin, New York, they want to widen the gap, the income gap between the rich and the poor by injecting crime like they're doing in Chicago, right? And increasing the cost of living for everybody, so only the rich people can afford it. And then you have more. So then, wherever the rich people are, more homeless go. Yeah,
what's going to happen in Chicago? And I think many people probably saw this on the news. And Ben came to Chicago and covered it, which is awesome. And I hope we're going to be able to shine the light more on what's going on in Chicago with the minority community. I hope you come back. I hope that we could get Trump to come out here. I know it's a big wish list. We get him to come out to Grant Park, and we can get tremendous amount of support from the Chicago minority communities and Democrats and ex-Democrats. Again, I was a Democrat. My whole family, Italian American Union family members. And if you saw, hopefully you all saw Ben's segment. That's why, when he was down here in Chicago, and he spoke with Devin Jones, Pastor Lowry, and a couple other African-American community leaders from different parts of the southwest side of Chicago, and they are all ready all ready to vote for Trump. I even spoke with Jimmy Tillman. He is the president of the Martin Luther King Republicans. Big-time Trump supporter. I think he put out an open letter asking Trump to come to Chicago. And I think if we get Trump to come to Chicago, we get him to come to Grant Park. It's a great central location. I'm also a member of the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. You saw what these liberal Lori Lightfoot did. They took our Columbus statue down. 120 police officers were beat up in Grant Park trying to defend the statue. And it'd be an ideal place to go there with our empty pedestal representing the Italian American community, having the African American, Hispanics, Chinese. All of them are upset. You know, the porn, again, I said before, the porn's my passion. So is the African American community. They're very
fighting porn in schools.
Sorry. I don't mean
Larry Flynn over here is
that a Freudian slip? Nah. Fighting porn is my passion. Fighting porn is my passion. And that covers across all the different minorities. They're, especially the Hispanics, you know, they're very Catholic, like the Italian Americans, African Americans, and Christians. And they hate that stuff. Now you layer on top, we've got illegals sleeping in the police stations, in their field houses, in abandoned schools. And they're spending more money on them than the African American or the Hispanic communities, let alone our veterans. If we have a house where you can't take care of your own family, if you take this down to the micro level, if you don't have enough income to take care of your family between a husband and a wife working, and you like to take in a neighbor or a relative, okay, fine. But there's only so many neighbors or relatives that you could support on your income. So you're going to collapse. That's happening on a grand scale in America. Look at you got these big mayors, big shot liberal mayors. Oh, we can't handle this. Oh my God, we're going to collapse. Well, that's happening to the whole United States of America. Who's going to pay for these people to eat, to drink, you know, clothing, school, medical, everything? We do every single hour. Everything they do, we got to pay for it. Are some of them going to get jobs? Well, yeah, some of them are going to get jobs. Most of them aren't. You know, eventually they might, but then we're talking years. We're going to collapse on ourselves. Is that what these Marxist scumbags want to happen? So people have to see what's happening in Chicago at the border and start getting involved, right? Start speaking out. You know, the city of Chicago voted in Johnson, right? They voted him in. They just had a meeting, and the people of Chicago wanted them to put on the ballot that it would no longer be a sanctuary city. These scumbags voted it. They said no. All right? So we need to take advantage of that and capitalize and embrace the minority communities who really do think like us. And that's our only hope. Otherwise, we're done. Go ahead. I'm done ranting for a little bit. I mean,
this is what dictatorships do. Currently, what's going on in America is so obviously bad for the country, and any other liberalized Western country who's following the same policies is destroying their countries. I mean, you go back to ancient Rome and you see there's decadence, the expansion of the empire to where they were bringing in citizens that weren't didn't have the heritage of Rome. I mean, it's diluting everything, and the people in power are doing that on purpose because they know that the media paradigm is shifting, that people don't trust the media anymore, and we've seen over the last few years that clearly the government has used the media to propagate their propaganda and their messages, and now people don't trust them because we've seen that they have lied. So what's the move, Terry? The move is authoritarianism, because if you're in power, right, and you get found out for being corrupt, well, then what's your move if you want to stay in power? Tighten the grip, right? Eliminate your enemies. The enemy, clearly, of the people in power in the current liberal order of the Joe Biden regime, all the way down to the blue cities like Chicago, San Francisco, and New York, is to create as much chaos as possible, right? Create more crime with cashless bail in Chicago. bring in a whole new city's worth of immigrants, illegal immigrants, into the city of Chicago. Create 34 pages of new laws, like allowing non-citizens to become police officers or giving non-citizens an actual standard driver's license, right? And putting restrictions on small businesses, making it harder for them to survive, and giving the advantage to corporations to create the oligarchy between government and corporate corporate America.
The bottom line is we're in a war, people. You know, I say this over and over again, right? We're in the most dangerous war ever in the history of our country. Paul fought for us, Grimaldi, and Paul agrees. The war that we're in right now is more dangerous than anything we've been through, because we're going to lose our country. And the problem is we don't have enough people that realize that we're in a war. So we're in a war. They don't know we're in a war, and we're losing the war badly. So people have to wake up, push back, fight in any way you can. You don't have to get in their face and go track people down and bring, porn posters from genderqueer to the school boards and call them out.
Some people do,
yeah,
though.
some do, but I mean, not everybody has to put themselves out there. What you know what they try to do is they try to harass docs and stuff because they know they don't have a message. Just like the border, right? We don't want illegal immigration. We want legal immigration's good. That doesn't mean we're racist and we hate all immigrants, right? We don't want blowjob pictures in our kids' schools. That's it. That doesn't mean we hate gay people. It's a lie. So they have to push a lie. They have to push a fake narrative, and we have to fight through that. We have to get in their face and call them out for the Marxist criminal scumbags that they are, because they're trying to destroy our country and take full control. So I guess with that said, we'll go to a little bit of lighter stuff now, huh? Oh, we got a little commercial, 1 minute commercial.
Illinois Freedom Alliance?
Yeah, Illinois Freedom Alliance. For those folks from Illinois. All right. So we're just gonna for the rest of the time here, we're gonna talk a little bit about America Fest. And some of the people I met with, real cool. They're gonna be future guests on the show. It was a fun event. I was sick. I got real. You could tell I'm still sick, right? I didn't know. I was really sick when I was out there.
They probably attacked America Fest with some new strand of COVID.
Yeah, right. And so I wasn't really myself. Finally getting back to myself, but it was a good event. Actually, I was in. Thank you, Sharona. So I was on Meteor Row under Frank. I was in Mike Lindell's booth with Sharona and my buddy Sean, America's Most Dangerous Dad from Maine. He's going to be on the show. We'll show him in a little bit, and he's going through all the same stuff I'm going through here. The rhinos don't like your tactics. You're too rough. You're too abusive. They have the same playbook. These rhinos throughout the whole country, they just need to stick their heads in the sand like ostriches and get the hell out of our way. So we're going to show some folks here. And
Tom Homan.
There's Tom Homan.
Yeah.
Is he? Look at how big that guy is.
Former ICE director.
Yeah. So Tom's going to be on our show. And Paul and I, we're going to go out to different locations and intercept some of these buses that are being dropped off. And so once we get some more of that content of these people being trained into Chicago. We're going to have.
We'll
we're going to
send
have.
it to Ben Bergwam and get more.
Yeah. We're going to Ben. He knows that. I talked to him about that because he doesn't have anyone here, and he'll help us get visibility to what's going on in the city of Chicago because we've got all the liberal media control
we
here.
got plenty of crap going on here that we can get out and get viral again. So, I mean, Ben just sent out that tweet today. We got last we looked before the show, 200,000 views.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I would say about this kind of stuff, Terry, is we tried to make a difference in our own little Republican organization, and they silenced us.
Terry with Billboard Chris there.
Oh, there we go.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing on the screen, so hold on a minute. Let them finish.
Yeah, but what I was saying is like this is the new way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got 200,000 views on a video that Ben sent out, and we're going to take over here in Illinois because this is the new platform: podcasts, social media.
So one other thing I didn't say for those of you new to watching the show, behind enemy lines, you see over my head there, it's Abraham Lincoln. He's in military fatigues, right? Abraham Lincoln, Illinois, right? Land of Lincoln. And he's in military fatigues. We're behind enemy lines. It's not just in Illinois. I mean, in Illinois, we're fighting on two different fronts, right? The Democrats and the Republicans.
Communists.
The whole country's in a war. We're behind enemy lines. So, that's what we represent. We're going to have guests, national guests, local guests, and, really excited. So, Jason, we're just going to flip through some of the interesting folks that I met there and we'll be speaking to in the future.
Are you going to play that?
This one's
Billboard Chris.
Billboard Chris.
Yeah, you want to do Billboard?
Just go through them.
Yeah.
Don't have us tell you what to do. Just pick them.
Yeah, 'cause I'm kind of retarded.
That's Billboard Chris. Can they hear us?
Battle. All the dads. We don't have enough dads
Can they hear
fighting
us?
for our kids, man.
right.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Turn you off?
No, yeah, leave us on the whole time so we could
play
talk
it again.
over. So, yeah, Billboard Chris is another father. Some of you folks they're probably familiar with Chris, and he'll be on the show as well. He was just recently at an event, I think it was in Canada, where a transgender he, she, him thing got physical with him and smacked him and didn't even get arrested. Now, if it was the other way around, oh my God, we'd be in jail, instantly. So what's the next one?
Be in the brig
Jason?
with January 6th prisoners.
Transition back to you. And the next one is
Just pop it up.
is
Just click.
Yeah, we'll
There we go. Ah,
hold on, I gotta pull it up on the screen now.
Patriot Barbie. She's
what was her story?
quite the Barbie.
We don't know, but she's hot.
Yeah. No, I think she had a salon.
Oh, I remember this during COVID, right?
Yeah.
And they were trying to shut her down, and so she was fighting back, and yeah.
So yeah, she'll be in. She was there at a booth last year.
What
So
else
go ahead,
we got?
Jace. Just
Yeah.
We got
Next one.
everybody's favorite.
oh yes, Bryson Gray. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh,
let's
that's
go,
a Let's Go
Brandon.
Bra- yeah.
So Rob Cruz, shout out to you, Rob. So for some of you we got a lot of old folks that are part of our that are mostly old folks are in this fight with us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so they probably don't know who Bryson
And
is.
moms.
And he's going to be on the show. He's a Christian rapper. Doesn't swear. Did a "Let's Go Brandon" song. A lot of younger folks know who are Republicans. He's going to be on the show, so we're excited about that. Rob Cruz had him come into Chicago a few times. Thank you, Rob. Next
Yeah.
one. Mike Lindell.
Everybody knows
Mike
him.
Lindell, my pillow guy. So
have a
I
My
worked
Pillow.
with
It's
him.
great.
Yeah, I worked in the booth with Sharona and my buddy Sean, and I shared the story with what the scumbags from DGTRO, Downers Grove Township Republican organization, a bunch of establishment, old school, incompetent, arrogant rhinos, right? So I've been calling them out. They didn't like it. They warned me. The sheriff sent the police to my house, tried to intimidate me. The state police didn't, all it did was piss me off. And then we had,
doxed you?
then they doxed me at our I'm elected committeeman, both Paul and I got in trouble. You got Mike back up there? I got in trouble 35 years ago. So everybody knows Mike Lindell's story, right? And
Crackhead.
yeah, he was a drug addict.
Yeah, he's a
and
drug addict.
oh, by the way, the sheriff said that I was like that too. Never. So I got
Yeah.
in trouble selling drugs, 35 years ago.
Yeah, Mike wasn't
You were-
I was more of
You
a
weren't a
businessman.
consumer of the
Yeah, and
product.
I was not. But the sheriff's going around saying that piece. Sorry, I don't want to get distracted here.
You're a young
So
entrepreneur.
anyway, Mike, thanks to Sharona and spending time with Mike and being on his platform, I will be doing a show with him, and people in my circle know my background. I never hid it. I think the scumbags from the Downers Grove Township Republican organization thought they found gold, that, I got in trouble 35 years ago. I'm not proud of who I was. I'm proud of who I became, just like Mike Lindell. I did so many tremendous things, in the last 35 years since I changed my life and actually helped ex-offenders and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to be on the show with Mike in the future talking about redemption and some of the things I've done. And again, I'm very proud of who I became and what I've done in the last 35 years.
Well, the problem was that they haven't known how to handle being challenged for not representing Republican values, and that's why we're in a communist state right now. And so they kept stepping on their own feet, trying to fight back against what you and I were doing to try to say, look, there's another way. Yeah. We don't have to just roll over and donate to Democrats and engage in pay for play, because that's what they're doing in Illinois. And so they went after Terry, like you said, that sent the cops to his house. They threatened us, and they doxed you. Yeah, they doxed you in a little packet. Send out information on his family, his children,
my
where
mom,
they
my
live.
dad. These guys are weasels. So I say, when the Union Democratic Southwest Side Italian American family, and I tell these Republicans, if I was still a Democrat, because I'm considered aggressive and the way I fight against the Democrats, I wouldn't stand out. If I was still with the Democrats, I would be nobody. I'd be one of a million men that are like, union guys or whatever, and how they act like men. Over here, these Republicans, these guys are weasels, except when they want to come after one of their own. No, right? Then they grow balls and they think like a little pack of bullies, but it didn't work with me.
That's not how you get independence. The way everybody on the Republican establishment side here in Illinois have said that, Terry's tactics are, too aggressive. And then when I joined in with Terry, I got disowned basically by the same people who were like, "Oh, you're the future of the organization." After I give a couple speeches, well, the future of what? Look what's going on in Illinois right now. We've talked about it all. The future of what? They're not fighting back against anything. So that's why we're here. That's why we use this as a platform. We're reaching so many more people doing this than we would have in our own organization. Oh, we got
Jacob.
Yeah. Everybody knows this guy.
Is he popping up?
Yeah,
or what?
pop him up.
We can't see his head. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Jacob. How are you? Tell us why you're running for office.
Because nobody in the Congress is representing the American people the way they deserve. Nobody is representing their interests, and it's destroying this country.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for everything you're doing, man.
So I think most of you guys know the Buffalo guy is Jacob Chansley. He went to prison. He's running for Congress now, and he's going to be on the show. Those of you watched the show before, I have my own videos of Jacob at 131 walking past me yelling, freedom, freedom.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for him now.
Yeah,
he's got to wear that Buffalo outfit from now on.
No one will know who he is. He was poking people on accident. Oh, sorry. So Jake, at 131, we were leaving the Capitol, thank God. And then he was walking past us, got him on film. Then we got an... it doesn't look like Antifa because the guy was too clean and he didn't look like a pasty white pencil neck. It looked more like a Fed. And we caught, we got this guy on camera, as Jacob walked by, and this guy's yelling into a bullhorn, can't even tell who he is, covered his face, gloves, everything, and he's yelling to the people, "Take pictures, everyone, take pictures, show the world." So we're going to have him on the show. We'll talk more about that.
I mean, he's running for Congress, right? He's already had kind of a little practice, right?
Yeah.
He stood up in the in the Capitol in there, and he was
yeah,
trying to pray for everybody. But yeah, what else we got? Who else is?
So we have Shiloh Cole.
Is that the
she was transgender
yeah.
girl from California. She's a sweetheart. I give her a lot of credit because just being a Republican, you get pummeled, right? You get attacked by the left, right?
Was her story it happened to her when she was a kid?
Yeah. So when you're a Republican, you get pummeled by the left, right? When you're part of Gays Against Groomers, like Jamie Mitchell, my friend, she's the founder. She's Jewish and she's a lesbian. The left call her a Nazi anti-gay, right? So this young girl, and she's, if you don't know her story, look her up, was talking about she was kind of isolated, didn't have a lot of fun, friends. And so when she was like 12, 13, started looking into transitioning, and she had her, eventually had her breasts removed, the poor girl. And then as she got older, she, wised up or, felt she grew up. And that's why you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, you mean
realize that transitioning from girl to boy as a child, like it was a pair of shoes you were changing, could be a mistake.
Yeah.
And Democrats are advocating for this. They're creating laws in California and Illinois and New York that are taking away parents' rights from knowing that schools could give their kids hormone treatment or other stuff like that.
Yes. So she came out and she's speaking on the circuit, right? She spoke with Jordan Peterson and lots of real cool folks, and she's being threatened. I mean, I heard her, talking about they're threatening her life. The left, the inclusive left, right?
Well, sure, there's a lot of money to be made.
The LGBTQ left.
There's a lot of money to be made in chopping off girls' breasts.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a Vanderbilt clip from that the guy from the Daily Wire, Matt, whatever his name is, Matt Walsh, and it was there's a string of them of doctors at Vanderbilt talking about how much money they can make off of transitioning children, because this stuff costs a lot of money. The drugs, the surgeries, all this. And it was all about, we can't let any of the detractors get too much attention, or it's going to cut into our profit margin, the profit margin of mutilating our children.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. What's the next one, buddy?
Can you see that?
No, we can't.
No, can't see it.
Okay. Oh, that's Rebecca Fredericks. And she has a book, was it Battling or Fighting Goliath?
Goliath, yeah.
And so Rebecca's from California. She was a teacher. She was a union member. And she's known out in the West Coast for battling the teachers' union. And so I did a little interview with her. I know we have it. We'll show it in the future, but we're going to have her on the show. So this pretty lady fought the teachers' union in California. And I think, hearing her story is going to resonate with folks from Illinois. Teachers too, a lot of teachers are fed up with this. They're stuck doing this for their job.
I have a friend whose wife is a teacher, and she's like beside herself. She doesn't know what this isn't what she signed up for.
Yeah, and like I said this before. I presented to the Italian American Labor Council. Joe Martucci, my buddy, used to be the president of the Teamsters. He had me present to all these Italian American union leaders of the carpenters, the electricians, the plumbers, the labor's union, right? And I told them, at the end, I showed them all the porn. The guys were like astounded that this is in their grandchildren's and kids' schools, and they're pissed, but how they're tightly coupled with the Democrats, and they are fed up, man. They're sick and tired of what's going on. But again, their incomes, like the teachers unions, their pensions, like they're stuck. But I told them at the end of my little talk with them, it doesn't matter if you're in a union. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor or if you're a sales guy like me. If we don't have a country, for our children, for ourselves, for America, who gives a shit about your union, right? Or my job? What good does a job do you if you don't have a country for your family?
They're not going to lose their union. They're not going to lose their union privileges because they start to vote against Democrats. Like, I mean, I talked about this on one of the shows that you weren't on. Was that the Democrats have lost the working class completely. It's the Democrats years ago realized that the monies in the coastal elites with big tech and high finance in New York, and you know what? Voters don't matter. Money does.
Yep.
Money will buy votes. So the Democrats have abandoned the working class. The Republicans are just too stupid or too corrupt to realize that and to try to
put that up.
Yeah, put that one up. And this is what's
This is at the
Sharona
Suns
Bishop.
game. Man, I hate that lighting. It makes me look older with a double chin. There must be something wrong with the
I think it's
Suns
the way you
lighting there.
sit. I think it's just your face.
Yeah,
Derek.
it might be. So there's Sean. Sean McBrady. I might gotta say it right. You know, he's Irish. I'm Italian.
You're terrible with names.
McBrady.
You only know
I'm
if
sorry,
they're
Sean,
Irish
if you're
women.
watching. Right? And there's Sharona, America's Mom, and she's on Mike's channel.
Lindell
and
TV.
Yeah, Lindell TV. And both Sean and I, on occasion, are asked to come in and like guest host for her, which is an incredible honor. And, you know, again, we're going to have Sean on the show. He's got a very similar story. Matter of fact, with his story, they were punishing him. They weren't going to let him come in. He's got twins, too, like me. I have twins. He's got twin girls. And they weren't going to let the poor guy go to his kid's graduation.
Well, what did he?
He was fighting out about all this.
Yeah, about the porn and stuff. Yeah,
all the same stuff.
Where's he from?
And then he sued him. And actually, I think he won like $40,000. Maine. I think he got $40,000
yeah,
in his
I've heard
lawsuit.
the story. Yeah.
So we'll hear about him. What is that? A Ferrari logo up there, or what's that?
Yeah, what do we got there?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys were.
People are gonna think we're trying to
Okay,
speak
what's
to
the
them in
next one,
code.
bro?
That's what I was trying to pull up when you guys got the Ferrari logo. Next one is Seamus.
Just click it in there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We could hear. We could talk while it's on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, start it. Hold on.
Sure, a video.
It's a video.
Hello, everybody.
We're at
Tunes.
Freedom.
That's
We're
me.
at my
Right
buddy
here.
Freedom Tunes, America's Mom,
And America's Mom.
Only one.
porn dad, I guess. I don't know.
To be clear, to be clear, he's anti-porn.
Yes, even Seamus had to tell you.
I'm anti. What you guys look like? I'm anti.
To be clear,
Anti-porn dad.
Sharona's booth with Mike Lindell over there.
On the back with
There he
Rick
is. Who's that?
Powell, Rick Powell.
Who is she?
She's the former director of the Arizona Teen USA. And
Oh.
of course, politics aren't too good for women these days, so she resigned.
Oh.
So,
Well,
yeah.
see you guys
when men
around.
be in women's spaces, it's time to like draw the line.
How you doing, Jim? I'll be sending this to you.
All right.
So that's Seamus Coughlin. So you guys probably know him from Freedom Tunes. The kid is so talented. He went to the same high school as my oldest daughter. I know his mother and father. That's at the end. I said, hi, Jim. That's his father. And he's a super talented young kid. He's a co-host on Tim Pool on Timcast. So super sharp, smart, talented kid. I really respect him. And with Sharona. So he's supposed to be on the show. He committed to being on the show. He's just like too busy. So
Just have to have Tom
so
Holman
he's
and
in
a
for
couple other
Christmas.
people on.
He might have headed back home, but he's definitely, he promised to be on the show. I've been on his. He has a podcast on Rumble as well. I was on his show a couple times, so look forward to that. Who else we got?
That was the last named one you have, but we do have some other stuff if you want me to pull some.
Just
of those.
whatever those pictures are. Pulling up. Well, that's
That's Jack.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through them here as soon as I get the screen on. There we go.
All right, keep going.
Jack Pozovic with-
There's you got Buffalo Man Jacob.
So like, as you're flipping through those, we're done. We're done here.
Huh?
And as we're flipping through, let me talk. You don't have to don't worry about the volume on the videos.
Yeah.
Just keep them silent. So some of the messaging at America Fest, right, is people do believe there's awakening. People think people are waking up, right? I agree, but I don't think they're waking up quick enough. Honest to God, that's why we're doing this. I don't think they're waking up fast enough. They don't understand how urgent it is, and we're going to collapse on ourselves.
Well, they're waking up now, but it's the Democrats have been doing this crap for years now. It's a big machine. It's going to be a big machine. It's going to be a big machine to turn around. So, there's a lot of work to do. There's going to be pain before there's going to be progress for freedom.
Yeah, and Charlie's doing a great job with You know, with
Turning
the kids,
Yeah.
with Turning Point.
Yeah, he's big now.
Oh, do you have that clip of the interview I did with Ben at the very end? You know that you should have it on there. You had it on Rumble, right?
Somewhere.
Yeah. Can you find that while I'm talking? Just look that up, and you know we'll keep talking while you're looking. I did talk to Ben at the very end of the show, which was great at Amerifest and America Fest. So people are wakening up. More and more kids are getting involved. Parents are wakening up. We just got to do it a lot quicker. We have to be more aggressive.
Terry, what kind of did you hear any strategic stuff at America Fest? You know, I know we've had Chris Adamo on the show, rules for defeating radicals, and we've talked about some of those. You know, the main thing that we gotta punch them back in the face. We can't, like all this crap we hear from the rhinos in our area about how we have to be more reasonable and we can't be so aggressive, blah blah blah. It's like I've explained to many people, and we've talked about how what you got going on there, buddy. You good? How you have to punch them in the mouth. Politics is not policy. Policy is something you get to enact when you get political office. Politics is the blood sport.
Yeah. So another message, and you know Charlie Kirk, right? He said he's going to work harder in 2024 than he's ever done in his life. So that that's exciting because the kid made such tremendous progress, right? I think it's big with our fight in the school, right? So they're big with the kids in the schools. Charter schools. You can't find that video that you
find a video with Ben.
Okay.
I don't know
the one
why.
you put it up on Rumble before. Remember?
It's on Rumble.
Yeah. So anyway, I lost my train of thought.
I was asking you, is there any strategic messaging about, because you mentioned how Charlie said he's going to fight harder than ever in 2024, and we all do. I mean, right? I mean, 2024. I think everybody's kind of got the feeling that we're living in unprecedented times. Not everybody. I know some older people that think this is politics as usual. I can't understand anybody after COVID, after 3 years of the Biden administration and destroying America, because that's what he's done. I mean, you look at oil, you look at gas prices, you look at inflation, you look at the immigrant crisis, right?
Yeah.
You look at the attack on guns, everything. We could go on and on and on. We're clearly in a divided America. The Democrats have shown their hand that they're so corrupt that they've become communists, right?
Correct.
So,
keep talking.
So I mean, I think we're going to have to ramp it up in 2024. You know, Republicans have to win. Because Republicans, this is the thing that I try to tell people is like when you get into arguments about the bipartisan stuff, it's really pointless. The way I look at it is the Democrats, we've lost the Democrats to Marxism, to communism. The way that's happened is the National Party has become so corrupt, right? It's sold themselves out to foreign interests. If you look at the Clinton organization, if you look at obviously all the things that are happening with Biden.
I just sent it to you on Slack.
They've and the national security state, and you look at the UN and NATO and where COVID came from, and you realize that the Democrats are part of a system that is going for a global world order.
You find it?
This one?
And that's communism, right? Centralizing power. Everything during COVID was about centralizing power. Shut down the small businesses, allow the big corporations to stay open. The Democrat states all shut everybody down, locked everybody down, took away your Bill of Rights, like your right to speedy trials, your free speech rights. They are all about centralizing power. And in my mind, the fight here is about decentralization. How are we going to reverse the policies that they're putting in place to restrict and take away our freedoms?
Yeah. So he's going to show this interview with Ben. Can we hear it or no?
No, we're gonna hear it in a second. It just wasn't loading right.
So that's
So
up in a second.
either way, what I talked about. Here we go.
Can we hear it?
Throw it over to our man Ben Bergquam, who's got a very important. Because guess what, Ben? We don't just have fancy people. We don't just have Steve Bannon here. We don't just have Tucker. We have the real grassroots that's doing the real hard work in the field. And you got a story for us.
Yeah, well, I would call Terry pretty fancy.
Well, he's fancy and a big deal, both ends.
So yeah, speaking about this, Charlie was just talking about this. You guys were just talking. We just had Chloe Cole up there. This transgender attack. Charlie was talking for parents, for dads to go out there and stand up. You want to talk about a dad that's standing up out there? Terry Newsom, the good Newsom, not like Gavin Newsom. Terry, tell us your story out of Chicago.
Yeah, I started speaking up for my twins back at their high school about all the porn, indoctrination, and I got the attention of Antifa, leftists, congressmen started coming after me. They started tagging me on Twitter, and next thing you know, when we were coming out to America Fest last year, found out I was on a domestic terrorist watch list. They even harassed my children that were VIP guests. Took them in the back.
That was coming here?
Yes, coming here. On the way out, my children had to go through it twice, even though I was the...
Would it freeze up?
I think they cut it off there. Keep going then?
Well, that's all right.
Well, you say
Terrorists, which I don't understand why they did that to my kids. And if it wasn't for Matt Gaetz sending a letter to Garland, Ray, and Mayorkas, a demand letter, I suddenly popped off the list. And I think around May or June last year. But he asked them, was I on a list because I was an outspoken school board parent, or that I was peacefully at January 6th? I didn't go in. Matt knew that. He wanted to know if you're maintaining lists of parents that speak out, or anybody that was in D.C., and why was I put on the list? Neither one of those guys got back to Matt Gaetz, but I suddenly was removed from the list.
But this is what it's about. God bless you, Terry. God bless you for standing up and not stopping the fight, taking the fight to him. If you're a dad out there, especially if you're a dad, it's time for the men of America to be the men of America again. Stand up for your kids. Take your family back. God bless you, sir. And by the way, Andrew, Charlie, the whole team, what's happening in Chicago, the inner city of Chicago, Terry got me connected with these guys. The videos, the interviews we got, the black inner city is rising up against the left. They're so sick of what's happening with the border and the invasion on there. There's so much going on. So God bless you guys. Turning Point USA, America Fest. It's incredible.
Every time we pull up, you see stars, you see stripes, you see flags on the
I think we're good with
every time we pull up, we go hard, we outside, we got flags on our arms that are...
Just let it go. Just let it go.
Are we?
It's done, right?
Off?
No, you're on. I don't know why that came on.
Oh, we on?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, folks. Oh my God. Thank you again, Ben. Thank you for coming to Chicago. Thank you for posting the Little Downers Grove story today. We really appreciate it, and we're gonna need your help keeping Chicago under the magnifying glass, because they're certainly not going to do it with the liberal media here. So. And again, we look forward to you coming back, meeting with the African American communities, the minorities, Hispanics, Chinese folks. They want to hear from you. They want you back. They want Trump out here. So thank you. Thank again. Closing statement, and we're done.
Just welcome back, Terry. And the good news is we had a little bumpy ride today, but we're gonna have some big guests. Tom Holman and probably Bergquam and all those people that we saw earlier.
Chloe, not Chilo. I said it's Chloe. Listen,
it's terrible.
I barely got through high school.
Names.
My kids are honor students. I got a joke. My kids are 4.0 honor students, right? I told them Dad had a 4.0 in high school.
Well,
I had a 1.0 freshman year, 1.0 sophomore year, 1.0 junior year, and a 1.0 senior year. That's 4.0 high school.
Well, when we have those guests on, I will be introducing them and saying their names correctly.
Thank you.
But yeah, thanks for everybody. Stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe.
Especially on Rumble. We need a Rumble.
We're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. Look for us on Facebook.
Gatter.
Getter, Twitter, and we're getting a lot of attention right now because of that video. So
thank you, Ben.
Check it out.
Thank you.
Every time we pull up, you see stars, you see stripes, you see flags on the cars and the trucks and the bikes. Every time we pull up, we go hard, we outside, we got flags on our arms that are tatted there for life. Every time we pull up, we don't care if you mad, we cherish this land, the haters can't get buried in rags. They set fire to old glory, turning fabric to ash. But every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag.